Welcome back to my channel, everybody. On this particular day, I would end up walking the Cathedral Rock Trail System 2 times because I saw something that I couldn't unsee, and then I ended up doing something that I couldn't undo. Please follow along with me on this journey to watch the story about some fish and how they brought me back to this park, and also to see if there were any lessons learned. For some reason after this walk, I couldn't shake the feeling of having seen those stranded fish in the little puddle of quickly drying water that was left from the recent floods that happened here in San Antonio, Texas. As I traveled through this area in relative ease, I wondered if someone would come and save me if I was trapped in a location that I could no longer escape. So if you watched yesterday's episode, you saw that I rescued a turtle. And today, which this will be yesterday's episode as well, because today I'm going to do this and the video won't be shared until tomorrow. But today, I'm going to make an attempt of rescuing some stranded fish that are in jeopardy of perishing if nobody does anything. Wish me luck. All right, so I'm back at the area where I released the turtle because it has water, and what I want to do is get a little bit of water in the Nalgene bottle. It's looking a little bit more stagnant than it was yesterday or even earlier this morning. Check it out. But it's still going to be water that's probably more than sufficient to transport these fish that we're about to rescue. So let's see if we can get some quality water from here. All right, so I've got 2 somewhat filled bottles of water and a scoop that I got with a rock tumbler that I used to tumble a variety of rocks with. My grandfather got me into rock tumbling way back when, although we never actually got to do that together. Still not 100% sure what I'm going to do with these fish, where I'm going to transport them to, but they definitely need to get to a larger body of water. Otherwise they'll for sure perish. Now, on one hand, those fish probably could become food for some kind of a migratory bird that's following these routes. You hear the cicada. Kind of freaked me out for a second. But anyway, since I noticed them, I have this weird idea that just like the turtle, that's my mission. You can tell I'm sweating. And for those of you who've been following this journey, you know I'm doing my best to recover my health. That sounded large. That might have been a large snake. Anyway, there's all kinds of things out here. Probably we get a feast from finding that pool of water. But for whatever reason, I think that was our find. And it's imperative that we do something about it rather than just sit on that Sitting on things that we think about are the things that contribute to our ill health. It's just like our conversations. Are any of you supposed to be having conversations with one another, but you're not? You're ghosting or being ghosted? Well, keep trying. Keep trying, or start trying, for that matter, for some of you out there. Since we probably on this channel think similarly that time isn't linear, do me a favor. Pray. Pray for the ease of transport of these beautiful creatures, and I'll do the same. I'll ask our Heavenly Creator to give me good luck. Hopefully these animals are still alive. Let's find out. As you can see, they're still alive. They're a bit frightened. I'm going to come in from an easy to get down area, and I'll rescue what I can rescue. As you can see, it's already a fish that was having difficulties staying alive.
Suddenly, we are greeted by a serpent waiting in this shallow pool of drying water.
Trying to rescue some of these guys, if you'll permit it. All right, so what I've decided to do after all of this drama is I'm going to add one of the bottles of water to this puddle of water, and I'm going to take these rescued fish to a bigger pool of water. So we're basically splitting the difference. This snake is going to have a heck of a lot of meals.
This beautiful garter snake temporarily retreated as I rescued 2 additional fish from this drying pond.
All right, so I managed to get 2 of the larger fish into the container as well. It's overcast today. There are chances of rain, and obviously the ecosystem is persisting just fine without my assistance. But in my mind, these animals deserved a chance. So I've decided just to return the fish to the most local area it could be transported to. And it's basically this larger pool of water that will at least have days of time instead of maybe just hours when you do the math on everything. But I'm doing that because, again, I don't know these species of fish that I was able to rescue. And also, I felt a little bit sad that the snake all of a sudden was kind of giving up its prize location. And so I think there's a dragonfly flying in front of me, and I think we're seeing enough signs that this is the right thing to do.
So it looks like we have 7 fish.
2 of which are somewhat large, and they deserve to go into a larger pool of water that stretches out as far as it does. It was interesting. The smaller fish seemed to come back to the top and say, almost saying thank you. The larger fish had to use so much energy that they pretty much wanted to go and immediately rest. I sympathize. I can understand. You can tell from that 1.08 miles that I've walked so far, I'm already in dire need of rest. I'm in zone 3 right now, heart rate, even though I didn't really do much, but squatting down, trying to calmly coerce things, that there was something better for them. And then also recognizing I'm not the boss of everything. And maybe sometimes it's better to leave things alone. All of that contributed to my currently excessive heart rate.